Formula One kicks off for 2022. It's the Bahrain Grand Prix. A whole new era awaits us. It's the first of 23 rounds on this fantastic calendar. The first race here in Bahrain on the 20th of March. Saudi Arabia follows us in 7 days' time. A welcome return to Australia on the 10th of April. The Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola on the calendar now until 2025 is on the 24th of April. May is a busy one. Miami makes its debut on the 8th of May. Spain on the 22nd. Monaco on the 29th. June, another busy month as well. Azerbaijan the same weekend as the Le Mans 24 Hour on the 12th. Then on the 19th of June, the Canadian Grand Prix gets back on the calendar. The first weekend in July, it's the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Note that for your diaries. A week later, in Austria, in Spielberg. The French Grand Prix is on the 24th, followed then by Hungary before the summer break. Then into a triple header. Belgium, Netherlands and Italy at the end of August and into the first few weeks of September. A to-be-announced Grand Prix will replace Russia, quite rightly so, on the 23rd to the 25th. Singapore makes its return to the calendar now until 2027. That's on the 2nd of October. The Japanese Grand Prix follows again of a welcome return on the 9th of October, hopefully for some great racing there. The United States Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas takes part on the 21st to 23rd of October. Mexico City on the 30th of October before the final two races of the year, the Sao Paulo Grand Prix in Interlagos on the 13th of November, and it all comes to a close in Abu Dhabi on the 20th of November, just before the World Cup begins. What an exciting season we have in store for us in F1 2022. It's time for the last 60 minutes of running. It's Saturday morning, free practice 3. Let's take a look at the Bahrain International Circuit for Formula One. A 3.362 mile circuit, 15 turns, 3 DRS zones as well. It's become quite a favourite as the season opener. Important to get a good exit out of the last corner as well. Rise up, down the start-finish straight, you'll be in 8th gear by the time you start the lap. Hurtle downhill towards turn number 1. Slam on the brakes as well, all the way down to 3rd gear at 70 kilometers an hour. Rise it up through the kinks at turns 2 and 3, to a left, to a right. Already 6th gear, 200 miles an hour as you open up the DRS. Down now towards turn number 4, 115 kilometers, 3rd gear corner as well. Don't go all 3 wheels over the white line, that's banned. Down through the G section as well. Down now, 6th gear, 215 kilometers an hour. Turn 8, heavy braking spot, 3rd gear, 80 kilometers an hour, tight right-hander. Rise up the hill, 2 lefts as well, turns 9 and 10. You turn through turn 9 whilst also braking for turn 10, 70 kilometers an hour down to 3rd gear. Back on the acceleration, time for yet another DRS zone. On the run towards turn 11, you'll be in 5th gear at 160 kilometers an hour, braking down from 8th. Hug the inside line, control the exit speed, don't lose too much time. Now the kink here through turns 12 and 13 as well. Careful not to spin the car. It underserves the bottom of the car as you hurtle through now turn 13. 3rd gear, 150 kilometers an hour. Down the back straight away. Now rising up once again to 8th gear. Going to drop to 3rd gear, 125 kilometers an hour before flat out at the exit. Racing to the 3rd and final DRS point, which is a line across the pit entrance. Now across the line, and that is a lap of the Bahrain International Circuit. Hello everybody and welcome up to the commentary box as we get ready to go for the 2022 season once again underway here at the Shakir International Circuit. Just making sure that everything's actually going up right. Don't know what was happening there with the faders. Here we go then, time to step into the breach once more around this Bahrain International Circuit, a 5.412 kilometre circuit, 3.363 miles. Speed round here, 199.4 miles per hour, 15 turns in total as they come back up as well. And taking a look at the tyres, Brand new 18-inch tyres as well. The hardest compound, the C1, is the white, the medium yellow C2, the soft C3 red tyres as well on the board. Alongside me in the commentary box is Megan Birch as well. Megan, we are all set. The last hour of practice ahead of us, and after what we saw yesterday in practice 1 and especially in practice 2, we're in for an interesting day because Mercedes are genuinely off the pace. Hamilton is suffering worse. George Russell finished 4th, but it's Ferrari up there, 2nd and 3rd with Leclerc ahead of Sainz, and Verstappen fastest. What's your prediction coming into this weekend? Is it that hard to tell?
A little, yeah.
Really? I thought it would be easy pickings,
Well, I can't decide between... Because some people might be having an off test and some people might be having a lucky test.
Yes.
Or practice.
Martin Brundle and David Croft alongside each other in the commentary box. Martin Brundle in a practice session. My God, they must be desperate. I wonder how much they've paid him to get him up there as well. But hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screens they've got.
And they have a laptop.
And 10 screens. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 9. We need 2 more screens, please, appear in our comms box.
Shall we go grab someone else's phone?
Let's go get that television that we had an eye on a couple of months ago. That'll do it nicely. In a total. Now, you're not hearing this, but we're hearing very bad connections right now with our pit reporter. Not his fault, our fault up here. So we're trying to modify that as quickly as possible because without it, we have no lead to hear him. So I don't know what's causing it. We'll do our best to find out and to get back to it.
It's annoying me now how much that's static.
The static, yeah. So much static electricity in the background. So we'll do our best to get our pictures operational. It's even worse from that end, so I presume it's a dodgy controller. But Megs, we're getting into the part of the session now where the drivers really need to focus down, get on with everything, and see what's going to happen next.
They do, and is that a new wing being put
Red
on
Bull, yeah.
A Red Bull.
Seems to be. Let's go over to the chat.
Perez, I believe.
Hello to SH2 who says, who do you think will be the other dark horses in midfield teams in qualifying? What do you guys think AlphaTauri will do? AlphaTauri, Gasly topped FP1 yesterday, and he's looking quick throughout the session. Sonoda was fast in free practice too. Could AlphaTauri surprise maybe 2nd, 3rd row of the grid? Around about that, 5th, 2 to 6?
Maybe. They've been doing quite well, especially yesterday, to be honest. So I think we will see a lot from them this weekend.
We're desperately trying to get access to another lead. I'm looking around the commentary box waiting. We are 23 seconds away. Hopefully the driver tracker is going to work today. So Josh is standing by in the pit lane and he's on the chat as well in the Race Control Discord. But we're almost ready to go for the start of this one as well. The green lights will go on. The session will underway. And I don't know what's happening with all these flags as well. Everything seems to be a bit of a mess up here this morning for the first race of the season. Green light is on at the end of the pit lane. Away we go. And Kevin Magnussen is the first driver out there. Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu will follow him out of the pit lane as we wait to see who's going to be the true pecking order in this season as well. It is quite hard to tell though, isn't it, Megs, exactly who's going to go fast and who's not going to go fast.
It's like a whole mixture. You don't know who's fastest at the moment.
Prova.
That's Bottas giving the countdown.
Is he speaking French?
Press G, would you please? He's giving a countdown at the top of his monitors. Not sure why he's given an audible countdown, but at least it'll be okay. We've got another lead, look. I told you there's another one hanging around here somewhere so that we can talk to our pit reporter who is standing by for us. I bet you as soon as I plug this in, it's going to go haywire again. I'm almost guaranteed. If it doesn't...
Worse.
Yeah, hang on.
A lot worse. Oh.
And we've lost our driver tracker. I think I know what the problem is, actually. It's a problem with the power.
That.
Yeah. So the map book's having a paddy. Oh, isn't that great? And we've got no Wi-Fi signal either, so... Apologies, you're going to have to bear with us. Our equipment seems to be glitching so badly right now as well. as Lewis Hamilton is out on the circuit, and our driver track is, well, kaput, really, isn't it? Everything's kaput up here in the comms box. We haven't got the faintest idea what is happening in terms of the situation. So hoping to get our pictures back as soon as possible. As looks like the map is still not working. Not great at the moment as they come through. And let's have a word then as well with our pit reporter, because we're going to have to move leads around, which is never any good. Oh, that's just as bad. Josh Plays, can you hear me? If I press that. Can you hear me, Josh?
Oh, yep, let me just mute the stream. There we go.
Sorry about this. We've got really bad connection. We can barely hear you.
I can hear so much static.
Yeah, there's so much static on the line.
Ah.
So apologies for everyone trying to listen in to Josh and listening to us. We can't hear you. Got any stats for us then on this first session of the year?
Let me try this one.
No, can't hear you. All gone. Well, that's all. Well, this is going well at the moment, isn't it?
I don't understand what's happening, to be honest. Though on the track right now, I can't actually see. Right. So out on the track right now is Joe, Bottas and Russell. Hamilton's just gone in after a decent track time. He didn't actually make it to a full track time, but at least he got a green in one sector, which was sector 2. Though, who's this we're seeing coming out now?
About to be Bottas, I believe, down the back straightaway.
And Joe is actually making quite a good improvement. He just got taken away his purple sector 2 by Bottas, so his sector 1 is purple. Don't understand what's Magnussen's problem, since he spent a whole minute and 17 seconds on sector 1.
Does anybody understand what Magnussen's problem is? I don't think Magnussen knows what Magnussen's problem is.
Joe tops so far with a 138.886, just being beaten now by Bottas with a... Oh, he is 400ths of a second faster than him.
So Bottas top from Guan Yu Zhou second, as everything... Our entire commentary box system, by the way, just seems to have gone bye-bye and doesn't seem to want to work at all with us. So we apologise for this at the moment, which is not the best news possible. And I know everyone's doing our best to stay with us here. But
that
Megan.
was a little slide by Valtteri Bottas there. Though it just got a little bit onto that, is it the sand type thing?
Yeah, the sandy runoff area.
Yeah, the sandy runoff area with the combination of being on a curb. So he just slid that car a bit. Though
Very push from Schumacher.
He still managed to get top of the session.
Still top at the moment, as things currently stand. We're currently trying to do mathematician works up here in the comms box to get hold of Josh, because so far all our equipment has just died and not working correctly, and we're trying to get it working. But
you ever noticed how Kevin Magnussen and it's Mick Schumacher kind of look alike?
They do, don't they? To be honest with you, I have often thought that. I'm not even taking the mickey there. I have often thought that they look quite similar together. Oh, that's what the problem is. Look, this is blown. So that mono thing's blown, so that needs to go. That needs to be dropped down there, which means for this session at least, we might be able to hear Josh. Fingers crossed. As Nico Hulkenberg wanders in. You were on about him just a second ago, weren't you? Oh, hello. That seems to have worked. Josh, can you hear us? You better change your mic, because that's even worse.
Put your mic down.
10 long.
I went very northern then, because we can only...
2 seconds.
Got a very muffly type of response.
You've gone quiet.
Yeah, you're very
My end.
quiet.
No, it's your end. Can you hear us? Earth, coming in. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Just about a bit more up.
What about now?
But it's still a bit quiet. So
But it's manageable.
Charlotte Claire at the back. Okay, Josh, good afternoon. What have you got for us?
I've got some stats from yesterday.
Fab. Read them out. We've got it. We've got time. We've got a session.
So, Pirelli have done a Friday report on the tyres. The tyre statistics The hard C1 compound did 660 kilometers and 16 sets were used.
After turn
overall.
10, you can go to mode SC just for testing.
on.
Mode SC.
Mode
Who was
SC.
that for?
Copy.
Megan's going to check who that was on
That
the board.
was Joe.
Yeah, Guan Yu Zhou. Okay, there we are. All
Zhou Guan Yu.
operational. Hello, Josh. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, everything's going wrong. Okay,
Still a bit quiet. So
we're getting on with it. I'm not.
hear you
I'm
a
not.
little bit. It's fine.
What about now?
Okay, we are 7 minutes into the practice session here for the 2022 Bahrain Grand Prix. Bottas Zhou on the top of the board as well. Looking forward. And Schumacher down in fourth place. Magnussen just coming into the pit lane, all looking to go well. And nothing seems to be working at the moment up here in the comms box, which is just fantastic news, isn't it?
So right now it seems to be only the Haas and Alfa Romeo out on the track. Though the Mercedes have made an appearance, so they decided to only come out for 2 sectors, which they must be reserving for energy right now.
Just waiting until they need to get times as well on the board. Waiting until there's more issues, I suppose, later on.
And I was seeing Danny Rick right now talking with his mechanics. He seems very focused on his car, especially the back, to be honest. So I'm wondering what's going on.
No driver tracker and no timings and no drivers out on the track. It's a typical free practice 3 session as well. Either they go forward as Esteban Ocon watches on as well. So Megan, question to you is, at the moment as we're mooring now a radio. Oh, actually, David Hill's going to save us. He's in the Alfa Romeo garage.
Very much there, David. I'm standing at the back of the garage trying to keep out of the way, and here I am looking across at this interesting setup we've got here, because we've got a guy who's got so many miles experience with one of the best teams over the last regulation period with the hybrid era in Valtteri Bottas, and he's come to Alfa Romeo, the team that, don't forget, won the very first Formula One World Championship, and they look quite comfortable, although he's had this is sympathy corner, I think that Ted called it for Valtteri, because he had a few problems yesterday, and he's back in the garage and he's crossed the white line and he's been told off by Martin Brundle for crossing the white line. So it's not been great start so far, but I'm sure that they'll correct all that. I've got high hopes for Valtteri here in this garage, and but it's a tense moment where they're just sitting around checking everything, and he's not actually done any performance runs as far as I know. You've got the lap times. I can't see him from the garage.
Valtteri's put a 1:38.8 on the board, just the one-time lap for him so far. Thing is, Damon, we did kind of speculate that Valtteri Bottas and his brilliant run of always reaching...
So, no idea if we are broadcasting at the moment. Everything seems to have gone wrong up here in the commentary box
Back
for the
to
session.
mode out. And position was 20 centimeters too long.
I'm had enough of
Yep,
this.
these hard tire just locked up in
Yeah.
the pit.
Copy.
Okay, it seems like we're back now to 30 frames per second. It seems like FOM is tripping our systems. Nothing's working. Our systems are going down as well. Our leads aren't working. We can barely hear our pit reporter. I don't know if that's a problem his side or ours.
It's a bad Saturday.
It's a really bad start. So thank you very much for sticking with us so far in this session as well. And I wish my phone would stop buzzing as well. It's really doing my head in.
Put it on mute.
Well, after such a good Formula 3 race as well, you'd think that the systems would work coming into this, but it's an absolute joke, I can tell you that.
We can only hope that it's better for qualifying. Right now, the only one out on the track is Norris, and just heading out now, I think, is Latifi, if I saw that right. And Sky Sports goes to a break, so we'll have to interpret what's going on right now.
5.5, 2 burnouts,
That's nice.
second gear launch.
Lando Norris then talking over the radio. I don't know. Oh, Josh has disappeared from the Discord, which is great.
Worrying.
As they come through. Oh, we can't hear you. Sorry, we can hear you. We can't see you. Okay, so that's disappeared. Yeah, I think his what do we call it is down.
I know what you mean, but I don't know what
His
the word
bus
is either.
mixer, the main mix is either down, or the mic level's down, or the gain level's down. One of those is down that we can't hear anything.
We're
We're
back to broadcasting normally.
Fantastic. So there's got no cars out on the track, but Correction, Norris and Hulkenberg are the only two out there. Not that the driver tracker would actually work to tell us that at the moment. So this is a bit embarrassing and we've got nothing else to talk about because nothing is working. Hulkenberg radio.
Track is clear, track is clear.
Track.
So that's Norris behind medium.
As they come through then. So Russell 6th, Norris 7th, Hulkenberg is 8th on the board. I'm switching that off because it's doing my head in. And to be honest with you, I don't know why we do these sometimes when this happens, honestly. The amount of technology that we have to put up with is absolutely rubbish. Really grates on me from time to time because we try and do a professional, fun show broadcast and all this just it comes in the way and just spoils it. They could at least get it right. And this map is doing my head in as well.
Right, so...
Get lost you, I can tell you that. As they come through. Megs, take over for a second, would you?
Right, so right now out on the track is Hamilton, Norris and Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg is doing quite well in Sector 1. He's done a 30.956 with Sector 1. That was from Norris, so it's quite windy out on the track, which will be interesting testing with the new aerodynamics that has been, well, that was made during testing, and it's since other teams have made adjustments to their car since testing. That would be certainly an interesting development, sorting out with the wind increasing. Though, right now, Norris has taken over Hulkenberg. He's gone faster in Sector 1.
I'd like to thank Virgin Media for over 10 years of useless internet. You are sacked. You're gone. Not even joking anymore. As they come through, so Bottas fastest out there at the moment, but Hamilton is going to be the key one to watch in this session as well, because you've got to think Lewis was off the pace yesterday because he had a DRS problem and the front right brake was pulling as well. The question of the hour is exactly what type of time does Lewis have left in the tank? Can he actually get pole position in any way, shape or form?
I don't know. I mean, he could possibly get pole position, and Norris just has gone he's gone fastest with a 1:36.6, no, 3:17. I was adding things together there. Though Hulkenberg is second fastest with a 1:37.506. Right now on board with Hamilton. He seems to be going purple sector time. So
yeah, over 170 miles an hour as he approaches back down towards turn 13 and 14 now. Fastest sector 1, 30.2. Sector 2 is a 40.3. Once he is across the line. And Hamilton is a 1:34.256, goes fastest, but that's on the soft compound, which is the C3 tyre compound. Yes.
And he's 2 seconds faster than Norris, so that's impressive to go by. He's definitely a whole entire minute faster than the Hasses because they're really slow right now.
Yes. Josh Plays, try and have a go down to you as well. Is it all good? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Still can't hear you, and I've got no clue why.
I can hear. My mic's fine because I can hear myself.
Oh, well, we can't. You're very, very faint, so sorry about that. Russell is back out on the track. Hamilton was there as well. To be honest with you, Josh, if it's not working, then just leave it for now. We'll get you back for quali. I haven't got time to sort it. Hamilton on a 1:34.256. Norris second. Hulkenberg third. Bottas fourth. And Granojev fifth. Schumacher sixth. Magnussen now just got into P6 actually, but he hasn't set a lap time. But he has done a quicker sector time than Schumacher to put him up there, and that's what the computers just changed over. First sector for Magnussen was a 56.3. For Schumacher's a 56.4 as he's riding with Valtteri Bottas now on the C5 tyre compound, who is on the first run he's done on these tyres because before he's on mediums.
Huh.
So, he was on hards before as the computer glitches.
The Alfa Romeo's doing quite similar times, so their car's quite... What's the word that you use for similar?
I'm not sure. I'm not the best person to ask for that, Megs, right now.
I'm trying to think.
I'm
just going to go with similar.
Bottas his first set. Oh, Hulkenberg radio.
Any pops in from your side or okay? No, don't think so.
They're quiet as well today,
Well, that's
aren't
exactly
they?
what the engine.
Everything's quiet today. It's really annoying me. And it's not our fault because nothing's changed since Formula 3 and we can hear Synthol all right.
And
So.
we can hear each other fine.
Yeah, we're fine to each other, so we'll wait to see. But this
Maybe it's others.
the laptop's really starting to annoy me as well with everything that's going on. So we'll have to wait to see what's actually going to happen. Here we go. Why is that keep off?
Don't think so.
Do you keep pressing that off?
I haven't touched it.
Well, why that button keeps going off? We need it on, otherwise we can't hear anything.
Oh, I touched it.
So either that, we've got a poltergeist in the commentary box, and those can really get lost after what's happening. So just trying to see if there's anything we can do. As Bottas to the end of the lap, Megs, go for it.
Bottas makes his way down to the line, and he goes across and goes into second with a 1:34.617. Tell you what, it shows that he really hasn't changed. And what's going on with that screen?
It's all glitching, isn't it? Former having issues. Right, Josh, can you hear me? Still not good enough. Try again. No. Yeah, still can't hear you. Try again.
Hello.
No, still can't hear you. It's
Maybe
all too quiet.
Something on Josh's side.
It has to be. It can't be us. I've checked all our software.
Everything else is fine.
Yeah,
so it has to be on yours.
it's on your side there, Josh. Russell across the line goes P2, 1:34.470. Bottas to third, 1:34.6. Sainz fastest second sector of anybody. He's a 10th up, and Leclerc's fastest in the first sector with the 29.9. Norris PP5. So time's improving, Megs, but is it too late? That's the question.
I hope it's not too late, and Sainz is just coming up to the line now, so let's see where he goes into. And he makes a
1:34.217. Fastest lap time then goes down to Carlos Sainz as things currently stand, Megs.
But will it last? Because Leclerc is coming up fast, and he's got both purple sector times. And it's coming up to the line now. Just rounding the corner, and he does a 1:33.797.
Fastest time on the board. Okay.
I couldn't put in the neutral.
Okay, we are checking the car.
Yuki, we are checking the
Something
car.
smells like oil.
Oh.
Probably oil.
And that's a bit mean from you, isn't it?
It's likely oil. He's in a car.
Yeah, if it is oil, it'll probably be oil as well. Yeah, so we wait to see what's happening there. Hamilton again on his lap times. Let's take a look at the two comparisons. It's a Ferrari. Yeah, it's a Ferrari 1-2, and Leclerc's 4 tenths faster than Sainz. Hamilton third, Russell fourth, Bottas fifth, Guan Yu Zhou, or Zhou Guan Yu, sorry, is P6. So it's Ferrari, Mercedes, Alfa Romeo as their genuine pace setters as things currently stand. Not a bad time.
Certainly unusual for Alfa Romeo to be up there.
Yeah, Synthol says as well, both Ferraris, purple sector 1. Perez.
Brake pedal is in the long, has a bit of trouble.
So at the moment you are P1, P2 Sainz lap time 30.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay, so as we come through, we're just hearing Leclerc's radio side by side. Let's replay that. If we can, press that magic button. Let's hear from Leclerc.
So at the moment you are P1, P2 Sainz lap time 34.2.
Okay, so as they come back on as well, Perez on the 11th run of the board. He's 1:33.797 to beat. I don't think he's going to do that, but he might split the two Ferraris on this rate. He does. Actually, the graphics are slightly ahead of the onboard cameras, I've noticed, because that crossed the line before he actually got to it. 1:34.160 for Perez. He does split the two Ferraris on the board as well. Why can't I hear the team radios on TV? Because somebody keeps pressing the buttons wrong. No idea what's happening.
None
I'm
of
sorry.
us have pressed that button.
Nothing. I don't know what keeps happening, but
Fernando, just to be clear, happy to do one more single time lap, and once we finish that, we'll just go straight into a couple of consecutive laps.
Yeah, fine.
So as they come down again as well.
I'm going to stare at this button.
Don't know what's happening, but everything's so quiet today. Literally, it's the bizarrest thing I've ever seen. Albon crosses the line, stays P8, 1:35.805. Gasly 10th, Stroll 11th, I think, on the board. Yeah, 1:36.945. Stroll crossed the line. Yeah, The TV pictures are slightly ahead of the graphics. The graphics are, they're not making sense.
That's unusual.
Yeah, usually they're bang on cue, but not here today so far. Next, qualifying coming up later, the usual 3-part segment as well. How much are you looking forward to that in terms of the fact is that we generally don't know who's fast and who's slow?
I think it will certainly be interesting. It will show who is fastest in kind of like race type of conditions compared to practice. And it really will be an eye-opener for what's going to come tomorrow.
Lando Norris having a kick of oversteer at the exit of turn 8 as well, as Australia now points out. Graphics are often slightly ahead, but not usually the cameras slightly ahead. Usually they're pretty synced up well. I know the onboards are usually a little bit behind, but come on. It's the 21st century in 2022. Get a hold of it. Known on your stream, on the actual TV, when they show the radio, we only see the text, but not hear anything. Oh, okay.
That button does keep going, though.
Not sure what's happening there then. Everything's going wrong at the moment, which is fun, as I reclip that and try to see why this is not working, because it looks like someone's pulled a thread on my flag. There we go. You can see at the bottom, look. This is getting really, really annoying today.
Today is just a stressful day.
I'm on the verge of just wanting to go and cry. 3/10 up, it's Verstappen in that first sector. 29.658 is his first sector. He's 17th.
Yeah, man. I'm really struggling with the brakes. I don't have any stopping power from them. The brake pedal is extremely long.
As they come through as well. So, understood on the board. Was the message from the radios?
Right now, Verstappen has got the fastest sector, though he's just made the second fastest sector right now. So that's hopeful for who's gonna. Oh my God, it's gonna be a Red Bull Ferrari.
He had a little bit of a lock up on the rear right, I saw as well. A little bit of oversteer and just sort of puffed up some blue smoke. And there you can see it's propulsing on the bottom and sparks flying. Verstappen, though, out there on the fastest tyre compound. Do we think it's going to be faster than Leclerc? Cross the line. Yes, 7/10 faster. 1:33.035, which is fantastic.
The box checker for flap adjust. What would you like?
We go up left 2.
Yeah,
left 2.
And Perez going +2 on flap adjust, which I think is fair. At the moment, Tom Dillon, hello to you. Says, at least I have to do 2 hours of Nords, Josh. I'd rather take that than this practice session, believe me, because even Formula One's graphics have failed, and it's corrupting my systems as well, and I don't like when things corrupt my systems. It makes life very difficult indeed. 7:10, Synthel says as well. This is going to be an insane lap. Now, that is a big opening statement. I saw on Twitter, Korean Channel pointed out as well, in some aero data, that Verstappen the engine was very clearly turned down because he lifted so much on the last straight. So Red Bull aren't running that car at full chat yet.
Ooh.
And it was close between them in FP2 with Ferrari. It's going to be insane coming into qualifying.
It really, really is. And
Verstappen pole?
Probably.
Or Leclerc pole?
Either one, probably.
Okay, so our biggest loss to Mick is turn 1 minimum speed.
That's Magnussen at the moment. You've pointed to Sainz.
Yeah, Sainz has gone into third, passing Perez by, you never believe this, 100th of a second with two 1,000ths. Basically, he literally, it's difference of 12.
Synthel says, is this going to be the Verstappen era? Let's hear from Russell.
Verstappen and Hamilton.
Developing massively comfortable with the car. So much understeer, apex low speed.
But if you can learn...
If still not feeling massively comfortable with the car, so much understeer as well. I mean, if you can lip read, I mean, I think everything needs to be turned up and switched off. In fact, I think I need to switch the entire thing off and on again, and I think even FOM should do that as well to try and get the systems back operational. Apologies, our driver track is still not working as well.
It never does
Also,
when it comes to practice sessions. It'll kick up again maybe in
Developing
quali.
massively comfortable with the car. So much understeer, apex low speed.
I tell you what, anybody putting comments to me like that in the group chat will be banned. I know it's not you lot in the YouTube chat, but in another one as well. I don't like the look of that at the moment as they come up. I mean, is it so much to ask that the driver tracker works?
Yeah, it's so frustrating because it's put there and yet it never works.
Yeah, it's you've got a yellow flag out on the circuit somewhere. Love to tell you where. That's why Leclerc's gone off, and he's in the gravel as well. This
definitely a Verstappen victory then.
Now, he might just get out of it if he doesn't hit the... he's hitting the accelerator. If the gravel doesn't bake him down, Leclerc should be able to get out of that, and he has done. But a big kick... Yeah, a big kick of oversteer. He's turning left. The car spits him right.
Yeah.
And into the gravel. That was going into the wall. We've gone back to green, though, which is great news. But I thought that was going to be a red flag there. Let's take another look at it. So he's got the DRS open, Charles Leclerc, down in towards... The brake is up for turn 11, turns in, car snaps the understeer, gets on the curb, and it spits him out towards the right of the wall. And as Synthol says, that was so close to the wall there.
It was. And we've seen many drivers today just like slightly go onto that. And is that a little bit of debris on the gravel? It looks a bit red.
So something's been, so he's lost a barge pod or something or other on that one as well.
Though that could happen to any driver. That's worrying, to be honest. And right now we're seeing the Ferrari. Can't remember what you call it, though. The place where they all talk to people.
The pit lane, the pit wall.
The pit wall. That's it. I am not really with it today, even though I've slept.
If you can get with it,
Yeah, for the used tire, flap maybe is a bit too much. For the newer tire, I was a lot happier.
Yeah, makes sense. And Mick aborted apparently behind. Yeah, I agree. It was not too bad for the tire status.
Carlos Sainz on the radio there as well, just being told why the lap times were aborted. Verstappen fastest from Leclerc. Sainz anyway, top three. As things stand, one more with Gasly.
Sainz sounded like he was having a party at the start of that.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
It did. I thought I heard a little woo in the background, like he's really enjoying that car. Anyway, Gasly comes to the line. He's 14th at the moment. Does he jump up the order? He jumps to 13th place as things currently stand. Which is an entertaining prospect. I wonder if he's got some more pace in that. As Ricardo stays down in P17, Meg's not great on the board there.
It certainly isn't, though. I have noticed that Tsunoda hasn't made an appearance on the track.
And Charles, we do the comments once inside the garage, and then you jump out. We'd like to check inside the cockpit.
Copy.
Thank you.
As I say, I shall receive.
Yeah, so Yuki Tsunoda's not going great. Let's hear why, Ted.
I didn't see that thing about Mario Andretti and the Dolphins coming, must admit. It's a hydraulic problem. It's a hydraulic leak, unfortunately, for Tsunoda. I think he was about to go out. I don't even believe he's done an installation lap, Crofty, has he? No, so I think he was about to go out, and then the car decided not to pressurize its own hydraulics. You need hydraulics for pretty much everything driver inputted on this car to work, not least the steering, the pedals, everything, the brakes, of course. And it doesn't look like they're going to get it fixed before the end of the session. So I think that's it, AlphaTauri are telling me. They're not very confident of getting him out in this session. It's remaining half hour at all before the start of qualifying.
Oh dear, so hydraulic pressure issue then on the board there as well, so...
That's not very good.
Tell you what, if you're going to insult me, by the way, you can at least
can I abort?
You can abort, and we'll box this lap.
I mean, yeah, if you're going to insult me at driver on a different chat here, you can at least spell correctly. Minus 2 points for that, but otherwise a bit of a low comeback.
Yeah.
That's not appreciated as they come through as well. In a world, I say this often as well, just be kind, be nice to people.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah, it really does annoy me because as they come through as well. Free practice 3, it really does demotivate you as well to do a season of this. When things like this happen and people practically throw insults at you for things beyond your control. So yeah, just take a smile and just have a nice time as they come through. Right, here's the Ferraris then. What's their pace going to be at the moment as well?
Tell you what, both Ferraris are sandwiched right now by Red Bull.
Yes, down on the board. Sainz goes 134.
Poor Magnussen.
312.
He's sandwiched by Mercedes.
Yeah, Magnussen's 6th, with Hamilton 5th and Russell down in P7 as well.
Both are sandwiched by another team.
I haven't even got anything you've sent, Josh, so sorry about that. Let's see what happens to Yuki Tsunoda then. Coming out of the coming out of the garage, let's listen.
Say that.
I cannot turn the steering. There's something wrong.
Okay, we are checking the car.
Something smells like oil.
So, yeah, definitely hydraulic. Yeah, definitely hydraulic.
It is
then.
oil.
Yeah, and if you can't turn the steering wheel, that's power steering loss as well at low speeds. So he stood no chance getting out there on the track in this session as well.
Right now we're looking at Hamilton. Is he in the car?
I think so. Looks like he is.
I think he might be, yeah. Though it must be a nightmare holding that jack down. Because one little...
It does fly up.
Go.
It did fly up.
I cannot turn the steering.
It's like one let go and... Oh no.
Okay, we are checking the car.
Something smells like oil.
We've heard that message like 3 times.
Yeah,
now.
Yuki, we're checking the car, which is interesting as well. We can't hear our pit reporter, by the way, if Josh plays, so sorry about that. And the driver track is not working, and really, I'm a bit fed up of all this, because we have got cars on the track, but for some reason we're stuck in the pit lanes. I think FOM are having a day of it as well. With the F1 app, you can have a driver tracker as well, that you can pause it so it's synced with your screen, so you won't see there's a yellow flag before it happened. I've got that open, but I can't get it on the screen, so you'd think that this one would work, wouldn't it? Good morning, Adam, as well. It's a load of motorsport action across the world this weekend. Indeed it is. And to be honest with you, but glad when it's over. Usually I'll be excited about it, but this has sort of dumbed my excitement a little bit. SHT says, well, that's quite rare from AlphaTauri. Didn't have much issues during testing. Yeah, so they were so good, but now they're having a bit of problems. But Naomi Shift is down at turn 1.
Too much. I've been enjoying myself. I've been out just for 10 minutes now and really trying to analyze the tendencies of the cars on track at the moment. And what I have been noticing is that there seems to be 3 general tendencies amongst the field. And the first scenario is a couple of cars who aren't really able between turns 1 and 2 to keep the power down right through. The other tendency is some cars tend to power right through turn 2, but then have a very snappy oversteer towards the exit. And then you have the likes of Ferrari and Red Bull who just seem to be smooth sailing all the way through.
Martin Brundle nodding his head.
Yeah, Martin Brundle in the commentary box. Naomi Shift is down in the turn 1 area on the circuit as well. Yeah.
Right, so... I tell you what, the Aston Martins...
Apparently we're being told that the map will be fixed for qualifying.
Hopefully.
But if not, the race. Well, yesterday we were told it would be fixed for FP3, so thumbs up, Albon.
Probably be
the fronts were gone after 4 corners. The fronts were gone. Oh, this isn't actually, because Albon's radio now is on.
The fronts were gone after 4 corners. The fronts were gone.
So the fronts were gone after 4 laps. And these are the brand new 18-inch tyres as well that everybody's having the issue with. That's not good news at all, is it? It's very worrying.
It's the return of the soft domination of crashes.
He's coming into the pit lane as well. We knew this FP3 session would be a little bit of a letdown, didn't we? Because it's a day session and it's a night quali and a night race. Nobody really heads out there. But we were expecting more than this. And more things going out there, which is not great. The IMSA Mobile World Sebring 12 hours. You can watch the pre-race show in half an hour's time on the Grid Network. So go and tune into that and take a look at that at the end of this practice session. At the end of this practice session, me and Meg are going to do a commentator challenge as well. That might cheer us both up a bit.
Continuous lap.
I'm going through continuous. Yep.
Purple default 22X.
That's Ricardo.
Purple default 22X.
Ricardo getting some...
Suggest orange torque 3. Orange torque 3.
That's Ricardo getting some information on what to do during the cool down laps and full install laps as well. Always nice to see as they swing back up. This is Lewis Hamilton now in the Mercedes W13. Unlucky for some. As they head back down towards turn 1. Look at the proportioning as well. 192 miles an hour on the speed trap. That's over 309 kilometres as he hurtles back up the hill through turn 2 and 3, rising the gears as well. Uphill massively, 15 metres. Elevation change to the top. And where the first sector time meets you, down to 3rd gear, about 70 miles an hour. Back on the exit turn 4. Bigger kick of oversteer. First sector time for Hamilton. He's up.
There's no DRS out of the final corner. No DRS, and you can use the energy button.
That's Hülkenberg then. Hamilton's out. 29.6 first sector. Down to the St. Jude section and into turn 8 as well. Down to 60 miles an hour. Back on the accelerator. Turn 9 and 10. A double left. But you're braking whilst turning left as well into a tight turn 10. Loads of drivers usually run off and make big accidents there, but
Well, we lasted this, we did.
yeah, Hamilton's got through that as well as he hurtles now down to turn 11. Second sector points coming up as well as you begin now. My favourite part of the track, turns 12 and 13. You can throw the car in, carry as much speed, but if you get it wrong, the car will snap at you. Hamilton's down by 78 hundredths of a second, so 7 hundredths of a second he's down on as he hurtles down towards turn 14. Into the braking zone. As a beautiful look at the track there as we pick Lewis up at the end of the lap. Is this the fastest time for Lewis Hamilton? What's truly the pace of this Mercedes at the wheel of a summertime world champion?
I'm leaving you out on the assumption we don't need to adjust setup for the final run. If you do think we need to, let me know.
Okay, understood. Yeah, I think we just put tyres on and see.
Agree. So we can have 4 more laps. 4 more.
I swear Font timed those to perfection.
Yeah.
So Hamilton is second, and he is 8 hundredths off the space of Max Verstappen. Game on for F1 2022. Hamilton v Verstappen. That's the true pace of the Mercedes, for sure.
It is, and it's right now, we're seeing Hamilton on a slow lap now. Just gliding round like there's no tomorrow.
Can we take a look at either Perez or Ricciardo then, or Hulkenberg who've just come out on the track? In fact, let's take a look back at Hamilton, because why not? The FIA feel like they owe him one after what they did in Abu Dhabi. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there. Niles Whittock, the race director, did tell the teams and the drivers yesterday in the race directors meeting.
Purple C2, position 5. Purple
well, that lap time will go.
Position 5. That's the halfway step throttle map test.
And all 4 wheels.
Yeah.
Okay, understood.
They time it. That Lewis Hamilton, he was told yesterday as well, all the drivers by Niles Whittock, that the track limits is the white line. You go over the white line at any track on this entire calendar, that's the track limits this year, you'll have your lap time deleted. He's just done that. Lewis just went all 4 wheels off at turn 4.
Where's his deletion?
Well, they dare.
Delete.
No, because then the Team LH will be all on the back of it as well, saying it's unfair, it's the sport's being fixed and all that lot.
It's a sport being a sport.
Yeah, let's take a look then at the group chat quickly as well, because Tom Dillon says it is 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. the 12-hour starts. Wake yesterday made me more excited for it as well. Oh, and Synth can screen record F1 TV. Fabulous. Yay, that's brilliant news, Synth. Adam says, Kobe and I had fun talking about the 12 hours of Sebring and recapping the 1,000 miles of Sebring from yesterday as well. Tom then says, called it, never mind, didn't call anything. SHT says, oh man, could Mercedes be hiding this for today? I think they are. That's a great pace. That's the closest they've been to Red Bull, all testing and now all weekend.
Yeah, and it doesn't even count.
Yeah, Hamilton matches his FP2 time on the soft tyres as well. Let's hope it's something. But the map is coming soon as well. As looking through. Oh, apparently, is that the top time? What is that? Is that right? I haven't seen it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was a message that popped up to me. That's why it was so much off the pace there.
Right. So, I hate going to ad breaks because there's so many drivers out on the track right now. We just don't get to see them.
Yeah, and we've got Hamilton, Sainz, Albon, and Ricciardo out on the circuit.
The main loss is turn 10, so it looks like initial entry. Just pushing that a little bit too much. That's to Verstappen.
Yep. How much was lost on the exit there?
Yeah, 1.5 tenths. 1.5 tenths.
So that's Hamilton on the radio there as well. I mean, I'd love to have it at the moment, but we've got no driver tracker and the timings aren't working that well either. With 19 minutes to go at this session up here, so we may as well come into the Combox camera for a short time. Go on, can you make a prediction now? Because Mercedes have just thrown their hat into the ring with Hamilton, and Russell's going to have a quicker pace for sure at some point in the session.
Verstappen.
You're still saying Verstappen for pole?
Verstappen is looking quite likely from my point of view because Mercedes may be getting second now, though. First of all, that, no matter the time, he did go 4 wheels off the track, so that won't count in a quali.
Yeah, I don't know why it's counting now. Let's hear from Sergio Perez.
Mate, I'm really struggling.
Mega struggling. And SHG says Norris is out now on softs, so he's just come out now. And I would actually really like to know what the Mandalorian was doing, advertising wine.
Yeah, that. It's like maybe he's had a career change.
Tell you what, I think Sky have cottoned on to the fact that every F1 fan was having a go at Crofty for saying if you're watching on Sky Q or Sky Glass at the end of last year, because Crofty's now advertising Sky Glass. So I think they've cottoned on there as well. Don't worry, you can't watch on Sky Q and Sky Glass. You can only watch it on the YouTube with the watch along as well. And we'll be partnering with the USRN, the Ultimate Sports Radio Network, for the majority of the races this year as well. Matthew and Matt will be doing a selected few races for the ones that they're commentating on. The rest will be taking our commentary feed from the race as well. So if you're a radio listener as well, the Ultimate Sports Radio Network is the place to be. If you're out and about and are missing the race, tune in to us to listen to our commentary as well. Because I know sometimes the beauty is you can watch it on YouTube if you're out and about, but if you want to turn your phone off to save your battery, you can't, because YouTube, it doesn't let you play the music after. It doesn't let you play anything. But if you listen to us on the radio, you can switch your phone off and leave it and just with your earphones in, and you can keep up to date with all of the race. Hamilton Radio.
The main loss is turn 10, so it looks like initial entry. Just pushing that a little bit too much. That's to Verstappen.
Yeah. How much was lost on the exit there?
Yeah, 1.5 tenths. 1.5 tenths.
Sainz. Look at Carlos Sainz. He's now 100th off the pace. 0.018. 18 thousandths.
See?
The top three separated by less than a tenth of a second. Unbelievable. Sainz is down at 133.053.
See, that's why I can't decide.
Okay. Box to slap. You can call the car last few corners.
17 minutes.
Okay, understood.
Russell, fastest second sector, 39.869. It's coming now. Russell, here he is actually in the last corner. George Russell on the C3 tyre compounds, the fastest of the softs, crossed the line and top by a tenth. 1:32.
Exactly.
9:35. Exactly a tenth faster than Verstappen.
Jeez.
And Guan Yu Zhou goes sixth with the fastest third sector of anybody on that previous lap around. Here comes Valtteri Bottas to the line and goes 7 tenths down, but does improve his time for 5th position. But Russell's fastest. Wow.
That's shocking. Though also, may I just say, the fact that Bottas is 5th just shows that it was never the car when it came to Bottas' skills.
Good and bad, Mercedes. They're here to play, aren't they?
Yeah. Fire him. Get revenge.
This is fantastic. Can't wait for this one. So Mercedes were sandbagging, says Synthol as well. It turns out they might have been sandbagging all this time. Well, to be fair, I don't trust a word Lewis Hamilton says.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me one bit.
You never know where it's true.
No, you don't. I do not trust Lewis Hamilton, and I do not trust Mercedes. Because so long they've said, tyres are gone, Bono. 40 laps later,
like,
still out there.
I think I need to compare finishes for race.
Yeah.
It's like,
lock
really?
up for Verstappen into turn 1 on the inside front left. Hamilton was seen working on his own car. You mean Lewis has actually done some mechanical work? Well, he's got a degree.
Keep working on your bikes. We have a small delta now.
Is it allowed?
Yeah. But wow, Lewis is actually doing it, yeah. But no, I think we've just seen the true pace of Mercedes as well, which is really good. I did say earlier on in the broadcast, watch out for Russell to get up there as well. Lando Norris fastest in sectors 1 and sectors 2 with personal bests, 30.1 and a 40.2. What's the third sector going to be as he enters the last corner? It's Leclerc's quick sector 1 as well. Lando Norris to the line on the C3 soft tyres, and he's a second off, but goes up to 8th place. A 1:33.955 for him, and Leclerc is improving down the back straightaway. As Ted's got some news.
And Hamilton, they were fist bumping and high-fiving all over the place. Not a flicker. The most you got was a small smile from Nick de Vries. the reserve driver, but he's quite a happy chappy anyway, and he tends to smile most of the time anyway. And I've actually asked my contact at Mercedes, you know, what is this? Have you put a new floor on? Have you made a setup transformation? Have you finally got your act together? And not even any kind of recognition that was a breakthrough from Mercedes. So either...
So Mercedes are sandbagging themselves by saying it's not going to be up there.
So right now we're seeing Leclerc go across the line, and he does a 1:32.640 and goes top.
Have you got a clue? I've not got a clue. No. I generally do not have a Scooby.
The only thing I know is that it's either going to be a Ferrari, a Mercedes, a Red Bull, or possibly even an Alfa Romeo.
If you do know who's going to be a pole sitter here today, write on a postcard, send it in. Because I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. Oh, it keeps on changing again. Leclerc is now 0.3 faster than Russell.
Okay, so stop
Latifi,
stop
radio.
in box on max.
I think we're all
Don't stop neutral, +2 turn off flap and watch the light.
This is turning into one of the most crucial sessions of the weekend. Free practice 3 started more duller than doing the dishes after a Sunday dinner. Now... Not that I ever do. But now, this is turning into a really great session. As Verstappen's little lock up there on his on his C3 soft tyre run could have cost him big time there.
Tell you what, that's not going to be good for the under of the car. And the brakes. Just saying.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. This is where it all starts, isn't it? 12 minutes to go of practice 3 here for the Bahrain Grand Prix. The driver tracker still not working. We're being told it is being fixed. But then again, when does it ever work usually? It'll probably be fixed by the race at some point. If not, then what a shame. It's not like they don't have ages to fix it. Didn't work in testing.
See a mosquito.
Just talk us through this thing.
Right, so Verstappen does a purple sector time for sector 2. And it's... I tell you what, I don't think he's going to get the fastest.
Which one? Verstappen?
The only way he can get a fastest if he makes either a purple or green.
In the last sector, it was red sector. Well, he was down sector 1, purple sector 2, he's green sector 3. So across the board, yellow, purple, and green. He got all 3 and goes fastest by 0.09 of a second, 0.096 across the board. As well, so it's a 1:32.544. I agree with Josh Players as well. They said they would fix it yesterday for FP3, the track map. We know it's just ridiculous. And good session, but all these technical issues are driving me crazy. They're driving me crazy as well. But at least the internet seems to be behaving itself at the moment. Let's go down to
okay, we're boxed this lap. Recharge on. Big lift into turn 14.
Lap is on great. Especially last sector, I think we will be missing quite a bit compared to the others.
So lap isn't great, especially the last sector. So Leclerc's having problems out there as well, which isn't great news. I don't know why I need to stand up and sit down. I just stood up to do that. I'm sitting back down again.
I'm just standing up. I can't decide whether to stand up and sit down because my back
is
either good or bad.
This is why a stool instead of a chair is better. Do you want the stool?
On that stool, I feel like I'm about to fall backwards to my death.
Oh, well, I think Iris knackered the systems a little bit.
She did. The amount she turned round.
Yeah. It was funny, though. Spinning her around. 1:32.544 then is Verstappen's fastest time as well. 9 laps completed. Sergio Perez is P9. He's 1.6 seconds off the pace at the moment, so he's losing a lot of time there.
And
you have a 12-second gap ahead, 14-second behind. Good position. At the last corner, mode push.
See, Mercedes are keeping the black livery for their outfits at least.
Yeah, black livery for the outfits, silver for the cards. A nice little compromise there at least. We just hear from Valtteri Bottas as Perez starts his lap time down towards turn 1. George Russell is getting ready in his garage to head back out there, probably to do the practice start, considering it's the last chance they'll be able to do it and he can do it on the grid.
And Bottas does a green Perez comes at everything with a purple sector time with a 29.574. Let's have to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, so he's up by 0.142 in that first sector to his teammate Verstappen. So are we about to see Yet another contender throw his hat into the ring as to what this 2022 season is going to have to offer.
Tell you what, it's going to be a big ring.
And the more the merrier. Let's have a season where we can have 9 different winners.
Ooh.
I'd rather have that in the opening 9 races.
Didn't we only have like 4 last year?
Bottas. No, Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, Perez, Ricciardo, Ocon. 6. 6 different winners last year. Perez 3 tenths down, sector 2, so he's off the pace as well, as things stand. But
could he still do it?
Unlikely. I think he'll go 3rd, maybe 4th. He might jump ahead of Russell. I think the computer's predicting the same thing as he comes out the last corner. Perez across the line and does indeed go ahead of Russell into 3rd place. 132.791. He was thereabouts, wasn't he? He was in between 2 tenths and 3 tenths back from Verstappen's time, so it's easy to work out. He'll be in between Russell and Leclerc, and that's exactly where it's put him, in 3rd place.
Who knows what they'll... Who knows who's going to be pole?
Charles 4 behind.
They're all separated by so little.
They are, yeah.
Oh, what lap did he do?
Did 32.6, Verstappen 32.5, so you're currently P4.
I don't even think it's 2 seconds for the first.
He's now going for the second push. Your second push was quite good considering the change we did, so seems quite a good direction to take.
Definitely.
So just having a word as well, apparently the map is going to be fixed soon, which is great news.
That will be fantastic. That's the word I was looking for.
Max Verstappen, earlier on in the session, hits the brakes, changes over to the... Oh! Inside front left, sticking a lot. And
Maybe that's why you had that problem.
New tyres, remember, and the bolt nut was stuck, it seems.
Thank goodness it isn't a race.
Ocon radio.
He's going 2.5 tenths in sector 3 on us. I'll give you some driving information shortly.
Go faster.
The issues are still the same, Josh. It's improved slightly, but still the same problem.
Copy that.
So yeah, go faster is basically what I would say on that matter. Here comes Ricciardo, P17 at the moment. Will he jump up the order anywhere? Cross the line now and goes 12th on a 134.378.
Right, so right now out of the top 9, it's only Leclerc and Perez.
I think Stroll had an issue there as well. He was very, very slow coming out of that last corner. Keep it. Oh, big twitch there. The
Definitely
exits,
an issue.
It's twitching massively, that car. Saw a lot of punctures in the Formula 3 race we did this morning as well. Myself and Cynthia won the commentary as well. So that's a worry I'm thinking about for Sunday, is that we could see a lot of punctures in wheel-to-wheel racing as well.
More the merrier.
The FIA are expected to publish the Abu Dhabi findings shortly. Probably in the lunch break.
So when everyone's eating, so they can just drop their food. And Stroll goes into 9th with a 1:33.920. And he's just outside for runnings for who's dropping their hat in.
I've lost my count. I think qualifying is going to be our first true... did you say something?
There's 8.
8, right.
Who are showing potential.
As they come back through now, as we go back. Just having a word as well.
If we count everyone below 34, 1 minute 34, then there's 10 contenders. So I'm only allowing 8.
Apparently, the reason our timing screens are not working correctly is the fact that, you know the proporting down the start-finish straight? You know there's a sensor embedded underneath the start-finish line?
And we need a little PU cooling, so full load and lift off down the long straight.
I knew that thing was
Yeah, the proporting on the cars, there's a lead that runs underneath the start-finish line that is the sensor, which picks up all the cars. It runs directly to race control. The proporting of the cars is damaging that lead. So they're going to have to replace the lead before qualifying, because that's why all our timing screens are going funny.
That makes a lot of sense. Probably why that isn't working too.
So the proporting's whacked the floor and it's damaged the lead. Alonso in the pits.
I don't know why the Ferrari just did.
Alonso in the pit lane with, is that Carlos Sainz? Which one is it?
I think it's Sainz.
It is Sainz, yeah. So it's involving Sainz and Alonso has been noted, but Sainz coming out of the pit lane was told by his mechanic it was okay to go, comes out, blocks Alonso. Alonso has to step on the brakes, and then doesn't move and doesn't leave anywhere.
Why? Why, Ferrari, why?
That was nice.
That was nice. You heard it. That was from Alonso. Yeah, not good. So yeah, the timing towers have completely gone now. So I think free practice 3 is going to be a session that everybody just wants to get off and just go and say, that's it. Let's go back to qualifying and forget FP3 ever happened. I certainly will on these graphics at the moment as well.
Though I knew that proposing was a bad thing, and a bird just had to fly off the track.
Here's Mick Schumacher then. Right. Oh, he's having a bit of problems into the last corner. Hang on a minute. I'm having to close my eyes and readjust them. Schumacher's fastest of all in the second sector. 40 point... What? Schumacher is fastest in the second sector.
Let me get this right.
Where's Schumacher going to go? Only 14th. He's dropped to second. So he had a bad first sector, the best of all middle sector, and a slow third sector. Magnussen is having a much
so from a tyre point of view, we want to get them as cold as possible.
Yeah.
We'll do the double cool.
Here it is, cross the line for Kevin Magnussen, and jumps to 7th. 1:33.437 behind Hamilton.
Haas, 7th.
Haas throwing their hat into the ring.
There's 9 contenders now.
I think all 10 teams have a shot.
They all have a contender somewhere.
The only ones that's off is Williams, and we know why, because Williams are having a real...
Alpine too.
Alpine too, yeah. They're
They have
both...
problems,
They're having a really bad problem, and Aston Martin really as well, to be fair.
Those 3... So there's 7 teams.
7 of the 9 teams realistically in a shot of a victory. That's impressive. Even Alfa Romeo are in a shot.
Yeah,
I wouldn't usually say that, but they've found something.
Haas now too, apparently.
From being the worst in testing, Alfa Romeo, they've jumped up to the midfield. Haas have been the biggest improvements I've seen since Honda to Brawn in 2009.
10-13 looked especially strong, so there's not much left there.
Checker flag out in 1 minute and 50 seconds as into the pit lane comes Lando Norris.
Let's see how...
Tsunoda's lost an hour's running as well, by the way. No Gasly's out there, but Tsunoda's lost a whole hour.
That's how AlphaTauri aren't in the ring right now, because they have issues.
So as soon as we finish here, me and Becca are going to film the commentator challenge, and then we'll be in for qualifying. 2:30, that's the scheduled on-air time, but we might change it soon. FIA stewards, pit lane incident involving car 55 Sainz and 14 Alonso is now under investigation for an unsafe release. So,
and yet you don't investigate the risk.
That would be Ferrari getting a fine then for that unsafe release. Big fine as well, probably.
Definitely, because that could have been much worse.
And there it is, confirmation at the top of the screen. Although that is very small writing, so they need to button that text up a bit. Coming through as well. Let's hear from Mick Schumacher on the radio.
All the line and everything is fine in 2-3. We just had double wheel spin and that kicks it off, so we just have to watch the wheel spin. There's a lot of wind going on there.
So the wind mucked his thing up.
It seems to be, yeah. We've got a backup plan, by the way, in terms of if the driver tracker doesn't work for qualifying, we'll just show the entire timing screen in that box. I think that's a fair compromise, don't you? Then you can see everything.
It, are they?
No, they're not. So
I think they definitely have issues.
We'll and Fernando Alonso having all sorts of issues. He's going slow at the exit turn 14.
Don't have an issue, please.
And he might be just backing up to try and make sure he doesn't have to set a lap time.
Please.
But he might be, if he's to start a lap, he's a bit late because 9 seconds. Checker flag's coming out, so session's over as he comes on now. So session's over. And he wants a slipstream. He wants to test the slipstream. So who was he waiting for? Lando Norris across the line. As the checker flag falls, free practice 3 comes to a close for this one. And the first driver to meet the flag was Pierre Gasly. Hang on, Megan. Schumacher's fastest again in the second sector. Hold me, hold me, hold me. It's 2006 all over again. And he's backed out. Oh, he's backed out of the lap? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has.
You could have done one thing.
Mick could get through to Q3. I know. Mick across the line stays 14th. 1:34.321. hit the lap time scheduled on the board. Practice starts are going to take part on the grid. Megan, genuinely interesting. What is happening?
I don't know.
I don't know.
There are so many contenders now, it's hard to count.
I've got no idea. You've got no idea. The entire system is just shit. Really
Okay, that's the checkered flag. So we're going to do a formation lap now, please. So recharge on.
Magnussen. Doesn't move on. Wait.
I think I found the problem, by the way.
Ah.
So anyway, coming to the grid to do a practice start. Take us to it, Megs.
Right. What, with like the grid?
Yeah. Leave it, because we might have to come back on in a second anyway. I think I found the issue, which means we can fix it going into qualifying in 2 hours' time when we go green. So it's Max Verstappen, who's fastest in practice 2 and practice 3. And crucially, Megan, Honda engines topping all 3 practice sessions in this weekend, with Gasly topping FP1.
It's so mixed.
I know. That's the most confusing. And yet, it seems so simple. Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Sainz, Hamilton.
So that's checkered flag. Checkered flag will stay on track to go round for a start. Go to Delta, please. Run switch Delta and keep it negative.
Not in it right now.
They were in it before. The entire field separated by 3.1 seconds. The top 7 separated by 0.8 of a second. Bottas becomes the first driver outside of that. So let's just go through here. Red Bull are in it. Ferrari are in it. Mercedes are in it. Haas are in it. Haas are in it.
What's going on?
I don't know. Are AlphaTauri in it? Gasly was 13th and they were quick in practice 1.
I mean, Tsunoda would be in it if he was actually doing a practice today.
Practice starts going on now outside the box. Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo getting a great start. Max Verstappen taking it. It does feel like the Matrix. And of course, Verstappen and Leclerc separated by 0.096. So only 0.09 of a second separating them.
We've got Schumacher actually doing well.
I know, Schumacher was fastest first sector and in second sector.
There's 2 deltas, I don't know which one you.
Hulkenberg doesn't have a car problem.
By big cooling, you mean? You mean just big lift-offs or low throttle?
No, just big lift-offs.
It's only Hulkenberg's second day, and you don't know the car properly is.
So with my delta, I need to stay minus now.
Yeah, you need to stay minus.
Russell comes to the line to do a practice start. So Russell does a practice start, the last drivers on the grid to do so. Everybody, all 19 cars out there, bar Tsunoda, who had the problem, which means the hydraulic issue. Ricciardo gets a practice start as well, after having a water pressure issue in free practice 2 yesterday. So away they go on the grid for their practice starts, which will take part on the grid at every race this year, which I'd like to see some carbon fibre being run over there. That's probably from the Formula 3 race we had earlier on. You can still see some tyre carcasses down there at Turn 1 that haven't been recovered out there as well.
Okay, Daniel, recharge on is good. We want to make a gap to Lando, so a quick in-lap, please. Quick in-lap.
So, yeah, that's probably to get them to the garage. So it's a quick in-lap for them as well on the board. Okay, let's take a look then at how it stands for the results at the 3rd practice session. Max Verstappen is the fastest driver, Charles Leclerc is 2nd, Sergio Perez goes 3rd, George Russell 4th, Carlos Sainz is 5th, Lewis Hamilton 6th, Kevin Magnussen 7th, Haas inside the top 10. I can't explain it. Bottas is 8th, Zhou Guanyu 9th, and Lance Stroll rounds out the top 10. Further down on the board, Lando Norris is 11th, Nico Hulkenberg 12th, Pierre Gasly is 13th, Mick Schumacher 14th, Daniel Ricciardo 15th, Fernando Alonso is 16th, Alexander Albon is 17th, Esteban Ocon 18th, Nicolas Latifi 19th, and Yuki Tsunoda down in 20th, not classified on the board. Interesting session, Megan. Who's your pick for pole position? It's so open now. You were saying Verstappen throughout the session. Have you changed your mind?
I'm just gonna stick with Leclerc.
All right then. I'm going Leclerc for pole. We'll be back then. 2:30 for the build-up. From now here for free practice 3. It's bye for now.